Hello, are you real? Whatever. So I have a project named chatprog, where you can chat with other people in group. Simple, right? However, I didn't have like username and password system or whatever you call it is. And what I want to do is to add that. Well, this is to solve my pain. First of all, I want to add to the arrays is for username and password. And then on client handle, I also make it accept password and also check if the username already being taken. Simple, right? Well, no, because how I even tell the client that they messed up? I just send them server message. Creative, right? Whatever. On client side, I make it to send password and also accept server message. However, how I make the client know if it's good or bad? So I make them instead send code okay or bad, with bad include the error message of why they messed up. I know I should instead send code good, but whatever. And then finally I can test it. Well, let's fix it. Let's test it now. Running server, running client. Alright. And yeah, we're stuck. I don't know why. However, if you're confused, what I call I is me in this footage or like past me. Whatever. Let's test it now. We're We get disconnected from the server 2 times. Very weird, huh? What? This is getting weird. I don't know why this happened. However, if you're confused, like what I said before, what I call I is me in this footage, or like past me, whatever. Let's just test it. Huh. Finally, I can run the test. And we get stuck again. Why? I don't know. However, like what I said before, now I want to ask something. How do we even store the username and password? We used to the array before, but if the server ever goes down, the entire history will be wiped out. What do? We use SQL, specifically PostgreSQL. Very smart, right? Whatever. Then I make a dot and parser so I can securely store my important information about the server or whatever, unless I accidentally commit the .env file, whatever. Then I create separate file or code you can call to manage the database, and of course because I don't want someone to just delete the entire user's data, I sanitize it or whatever you call it is. Now because I want to keep my user's data safe, I will hash the password using digit to be hash because I'm lazy, I guess, or and finally my damn username and password is stored on the database. That's very hard, you know that? Do you still remember about the bug where we stuck? I finally find why. It's because when the server sends the code and the message, both the code and the message are captured by one write fee in the client by the client, making the client stuck waiting for another message from the server. How do I fix it? We just send the length of what we want to send. Simple, right? I finally done it, I guess. Except we still don't have a good interface on the client or whatever you call it is. Well, that's their problem. I will improve that later or not, whatever. For now, this video ends.